We are proud of these students' efforts in preparing for today's contest. Competing in ACE encourages academic achievement, initiative, and good sportsmanship. It requires that the students put in long hours of their own time and independent study to be competitive. Good luck to all three teams today. Now I would like to turn over the program to Dale Nading, the ACE program coordinator.
Thank you, Coach Sutton, and thanks to Farmington High School for hosting today's competition. First, let me welcome all the teams here this morning. Fayetteville, Elkins, they're joining us here at Farmington High School. Next, we want to thank the sponsors of the ACE program, the University of Arkansas, the Northwest Arkansas Community College, Kerm Radio, the participating Northwest Arkansas High Schools, the Arvest Bank Group, and the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. The University of Arkansas Fulbright College and the Northwest Arkansas Community College provide the hundreds of required questions. The Arkansas Democrat-Gazette provides the newspapers from which we get our current events and sports questions. Arvest provides the trophies, and Kerm Radio 100.3 FM on your dial broadcasts the contest live and rebroadcast it tonight about 9:05, but that time always changes depending on the sports event. It also streams the event on their website, kerm.net, KURM.net. Now, many others donate for our finals event this year at Fayetteville High School's new auditorium on March the 13th. All the 12 high school teams attend, and this will be broadcast at 10:05 on Kerm, and the public is invited. Check our website, www.arkansasace.org, for scores, schedules, and information. Now, this is the first match in the second round. All these teams have played one match in the first round, and here are the scores. Bentonville has 68, Prairie Grove 49, Elkins 17, Farmington 64, Fayetteville 30, Gravette 39, Greenland 12, Lifeway Christian 38, Lincoln 43, Shiloh Christian 37, Siloam Springs 15, and West Fork with 52 points. Now the next scheduled match is at Lincoln High School with Lifeway Christian and Greenland High Schools on Thursday, January the 31st at 10:05. We'd like to add a special thanks to the students who helped us set up the equipment this morning. They are Christy Moore, John Larrabee, Colby Drain, Aklam Ness, and the Winter Drumline. Give them all a hand. And we'd like to thank Farmington for hosting a small reception for the teams immediately following the match. And now we want to recognize the officials at my left. We have our question monitor, Mr. Michael Mason. To his left, we have our scorekeeper, Ms. Tanya McQuiston. We have a favorite. And to her left, operating the electronics, the lights, and the buzzers, we have Elle Nading. And again, I am Dale Nading. I will be your quizmaster for today's contest. Thank you. The sponsors of the ACE competition all make ACE a major part of their interest in supporting education. They believe it's important that the academic community and the business community work together to enhance educational opportunities for these future parents, educators, and business leaders. They want to provide incentives for students to improve, excel, and compete. We're excited to be here and to have Kerm Radio audiences with us. We know you will enjoy the competition. We ask you to give your support, encourage them to do their best, and cheer all you want. But please be quiet while the questions are being read and answered. Thank you. And now, before we begin today's competition, let's have the teams introduce themselves. Fayetteville, would you please introduce your team?
Yes, on Fayetteville we have myself, Nicole Villacrest, and to my left, Darsha Dodge, Marley Stark, Hayden Lindstrom, and Alex Muller. And in the back row we have Michael Thompson, Timothy Scarborough, Nasir Naseem, Tony Lee, and our sponsor, D.A. Young. And we'd like to say, sorry you couldn't be here, Matthew Wang, if you're listening, and Sarah Huang, we're sorry you couldn't be part of the team.
Thank you. Thanks, Fayetteville. And now, Elkins, would you please introduce your team?
Yes, from my left to right, we have Austin Arajo, Diego Rojas, Chelsea Clark, myself, Shelby Street. And in the back, we have Braden Grisham, Jesse Johnson, Derek Camp, Josh Fay, Alicia Skalecki, Rachel Berry, and our sponsor, Mr. Legrand.
Thank you. And lastly, our host team. Farmington, would you please introduce your team?
Hi, we're from Farmington High School, and from my left to right, we have Zach Nickel, Josh Shaw, myself, Bo Blue, Sarah Spillers, and Jamie Spillers. And in the back row, well, usually we have Mr. Mason, Jeremy Wilburn, Cassidy Rice, Audrey Rogers, Sarah McGuire, Gail Newman, and Mr. Williams. And our honorary sponsor for today is Miss McQuiston.
Thank you, Farmington. And now while the second half teams are taking their seats, let's review the scoring rules. Here's how points are awarded. Each team receives its own question in standard categories. Teams have 15 seconds and 4 chances to answer. A correct answer on the first try is worth 4 points. Each time an incorrect answer is given, the question is worth 1 less point. If the team misses it entirely, either of the other 2 teams can gain 1 point with the correct answer. We will explain scoring in other areas later on in the contest. Please remember that your silence is important during each answer period, so that every contestant can hear the question and every answer. Your applause is also important and is appreciated by all 3 teams. So here we go. The first category in today's match is current events. Fayetteville, you ready? Here we go. This governor has completed a training course to carry a concealed handgun. Still waiting on the results of the background check. Name this governor. Mary Fallon? Correct. Mary Fallon from Oklahoma. 4 points to Fayetteville. And sorry, radio audience, we seem to be having some difficulties with the microphone. The next person is Elkins. Here is the question. Chuck Hagel secured the backing of 2 of the staunchest pro-Israel Senate members. They said Hagel had addressed their reservations about whether he was anti-Israel, too soft on Iran, and opposed to gay rights. Name either of these 2 senators. Repeat your answer. Incorrect. Just one moment, because you had difficulty, did you have another answer? Okay, thank you. And Fayetteville. Okay, Farmington,
John McCain.
incorrect. I would have accepted either Chuck Schumer of New York or Barbara Boxer of California. 0 points for that question. Okay, we're going to do a microphone check here on, the kids all hear me and we do a pre-match briefing and I talk about the equipment isn't aging as gracefully as I am, and our equipment is quite old. So hopefully we have the yellow microphone fixed. If we have another microphone Thank you. If we have another microphone malfunction, yellow, grab the other microphone and put it to the center of the table. Thank you.
Check. Check.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Elkins. Sorry about that. The last question in current events will go to Farmington. Here is your question. She is the former First Lady of South Carolina. She said she will not run for an open congressional seat, telling reporters that her job as a mother is more rewarding and important than going to Congress. Name her.
Nancy Breedberg.
Incorrect. Five seconds.
Johnson.
Incorrect. The correct answer is Jenny Sanford. Jenny Sanford. 0 points for that question. Next category is geography. Fayetteville, here's your geography question. What is the name of the mountain chain that separates European Russia from Asian Russia?
The Ural Mountains.
Correct. 4 points to Fayetteville for the Urals, Ural Mountains. Elkins, here is your geography question. What is the name of the Caucasus Mountain that is the highest point in Russia?
Mount Kilimanjaro.
Incorrect. Five seconds. And Fayetteville. Sorry, time. And Farmington.
Mount Elbrus.
Spell it, please.
Elbrus.
Correct. Farmington scores. Farmington scores 1 point for Mount Elbrus. And the last question in geography goes to Farmington. Here is your question. The area between the Carpathians and the Danube was conquered by the Romans. Name it.
The Black Earth Belt.
Incorrect.
Romania.
Correct. 3 points. 3 points to Farmington for Romania. Next category is American history. Fayetteville, here's your American history question. In 1865, new Southern state legislatures passed these laws. Written by former Confederates, these laws severely limited African Americans' rights. Name these laws.
Jim Crow laws.
Incorrect.
Black codes.
That is correct. 3 points for black coats. Elkins, here's your American history question. This financial condition was the result of the crop lien system and high interest rates. It entrapped sharecroppers on the land and into limited economic and political freedoms. Name this financial condition.
Inflation.
Incorrect.
oppression.
Incorrect. And Farmington.
Debt peonage.
That is correct. Farmington scores 1 point for debt peonage. And the last American history question goes to Farmington. These taxes were placed on alcohol and tobacco during the American Civil War. Republicans kept these taxes in order to pay off government bonds. Name them.
Sin taxes.
That's right, 4 points. Next category is literature. Fayetteville, your literature question. In MS Found in a Bottle by Edgar Allan Poe, what word appeared when the narrator thoughtlessly touched the sail with a tar brush?
Discover.
Incorrect.
Discovery.
Correct. Discovery. 3 points to Fayetteville. Elkins, your literature question. In The Fiddler by Herman Melville, what event at the beginning of the story gave the narrator's new acquaintance, Hautboy, extraordinary enjoyment and happiness?
He played music.
Incorrect. Five seconds. I need both teams to write their answer down on a piece of paper along with your team name. For the radio audience and for the student body here, when you have a tie, both teams buzzed in too soon, which results in a tie. If both answers are correct, both of them will receive 1 point. So this is how we handle this situation. Fayetteville, you chose Met the Clown, who was the fiddler, and watched him play music. Farmington, you wrote A Circus. The answer I have here is a circus performance. Farmington scores 1 point. Last question in literature goes to Farmington. In Luck by Mark Twain. On what historical figure had Scoresby's friend drilled Scoresby when he passed the exam with flying colors?
Alexander the Great.
Incorrect.
Charlemagne.
Incorrect.
Julius Caesar.
Correct. 2 points. 2 points to Farmington or Caesar. Next category is American government. Fayetteville, here's your question. Listen carefully, it's a rather long question. In 2000, the Supreme Court found California's version of a primary election unconstitutional because it violated the First and 14th Amendments, guarantees the right of association. It ruled that a state cannot force a political party to associate with members of other parties or independents when it picks its candidates. The California version of what primary election process was found unconstitutional?
Open primary.
Incorrect.
Closed primary.
Incorrect.
Blanket primary.
Correct. 2 points to Fayetteville for blanket primary. Next American government question goes to Elkins. Here's your question. A system of government in which a written constitution divides the powers of government on a territorial basis between a central or national government and several regional governments is called what? Five seconds. Farmington.
Federalism.
Correct. Farmington scores 1 point for federalism. And the last question in American government goes to Farmington. The power to levy and collect taxes, to define crimes and set punishments for them, and to condemn private property for public use are examples of powers held by both the national and state governments. What are these called?
Concurrent powers.
4 points to Farmington. Next category is Shakespeare. Fayetteville, your Shakespeare question. In the opening scene of Henry VIII, who was arrested for treason?
Buckingham.
Correct. 4 points for the Duke of Buckingham. Elkins. In Titus Andronicus, who were the enemies against whom Titus had been fighting for 10 years?
The Goths.
4 points to Elkins for the Goths. And Farmington. The last question in Shakespeare goes to you. In The Merry Wives of Windsor, in whose household did Mistress Quickly serve as housekeeper?
Caius.
Correct. 4 points for Dr. Caius. This was a perfect round. Every team got their answer. The first question, give them all a hand. The next category is vocabulary. Now, in vocabulary, each team is given the definition of a word and the part of speech. This is as they appear in Barron's SAT-1 manual basic word list. The teams will have 15 seconds and 4 tries to give the correct word. Fayetteville, you ready? The definition of your word is instruct. The part of speech is a verb. What is your word?
Didact.
Incorrect.
Educate.
Incorrect. And Farmington.
Edify.
Edify is correct. Farmington scores 1 point for edify. The next word goes to Elkins. The definition of your word is short-lived. Some people say short-lived, but it's short-lived. The part of speech is an adjective. And what is your word?
Fleeting.
Incorrect. Five seconds.
Evade.
Incorrect.
Ephemeral.
And Fayetteville?
Ephemeral.
Ephemeral is correct. Fayetteville, you score 1 point. Farmington, the definition of your word is witty thought or saying, usually short. The part of speech is a noun. What is your word? 5 seconds.
Epitaph.
Incorrect.
Euphemism.
And Fayetteville.
Euphemism.
Incorrect. The correct answer is epigram. Epigram. 0 points for that question. Next category is team choice. Now each team has chosen a different subject. The time limit is 15 seconds. Questions are initially worth 4 points. There's only one answer per team. If I rule the original team's answer incorrect, the question is then worth 2 points to the other 2 teams, and they can then signal at any time. Fayetteville, you chose the category of American history. Here's your question. This amendment secured the right to vote for Americans, regardless of race or color. It was ratified in 1870. Name this amendment.
15th.
That's correct. 4 points to Fayetteville for the 15th Amendment. Elkins, you chose geography. What is the second largest religion in Russia?
Roman Catholic.
Incorrect. And Farmington.
Islam.
That is correct. Farmington scores 2 points, 2 points for Islam. And the last question goes to Farmington. You chose American government.
Yes, ma'am.
Here is your question. This body served as our first national government before the National Congress was created by the Articles of Confederation. Name it.
The Second Continental Congress.
4 points to Farmington. And the last question in the first half is our first team choice toss-up. In the toss-up category, the first team to push its buzzer answers first. 4 points for a correct answer. Teams, you can press your buzzers at any time. You do not have to let me finish the question. The toss-up category for all 3 teams is literature. Here is a question. In Madame Zelensky and the King of Finland by Carson McCullers, what was unusual about the parentage of Madame Zelensky's children? And Fayetteville.
The children were from an unwed marriage out of wedlock.
Incorrect. And Farmington.
They all looked like her, but supposedly they were all from different fathers.
That is correct. They all had different fathers. 4 points to Farmington for that question. Now we'll take a look at the scores. We have Elkins with 4, Fayetteville with 25, and Farmington with 32 points. With 1/2 of the A's contest completed, we'll have a 90-second to 2-minute break while the teams make changes and discuss their strategies.
Let's face it, the family budget is under attack, and PG Telco's coming to the rescue with high-speed internet for as little as $9.95 per month for 12 months, and they back their service with a 24-hour repair service guarantee. That means you'll be connected to Farmington Cardinal Athletics on pgtelco.com. So if you're looking for local and long-distance phone service, the high-speed internet, or even direct TV, you can get it all at PG Telco. Call them at 267-7200. That's 267-7200. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress.
See you soon. They're coming. They're all coming, and they're bringing your mother.
What are we gonna do?
Inside Mouth, Tony Chachere's makes everything taste great. In only minutes, marinate your turkey on the inside with Tony Chachere's injectable marinade for that great buttery flavor. Then add a little spice to the outside with Tony Chachere's famous Creole seasoning. It's the perfect combination.
This must have taken you two all day.
It was easy.
With Tony Chachere's.
Tony Chachere's!
Tony Chachere's makes everything taste great.
Boar's Nest Barbecue is a proud sponsor of Farmington Cardinal football. They're open every day from 11 to 11. Boar's Nest is located on 1189 Steamboat Drive off the Weddington exit in Fayetteville. Boar's Nest provides catering, outdoor seating, and is great for kids in large groups. We stay open late for all you football fanatics, so come on out and enjoy some delicious food right after the big game. Boar's Nest Barbecue is on Facebook and wishes the Cardinals a successful football season.
Where do you go when you want a bundle that includes DirecTV and high-speed internet? You want it packaged together and you want a $500 savings. There's only one answer for Cardinal fans, PG Telco. That's right, don't miss any of your favorite TV shows with DirecTV and catch your favorite Cardinal sports with a high-speed internet from PG Telco. And if you call right now, you save $500. Don't care who you are, that's a win-win situation. Call 267-7200. That's 267-7200 for an entertainment bundle that saves you bundles of cash. It's PG Telco, a proud sponsor of Farmington Cardinal Athletics.
What term is used to describe a covalent bond in which an electron pair is not shared equally between the atoms?
Polar bond.
Correct. 4 points to Fayetteville for polar bond. Elkins, here is your chemistry question. The ability of an atom in a molecule to attract electrons to itself is often used to characterize bond polarity. What term is used to define this ability?
Electronegativity.
That would be correct. 4 points for electronegativity. And the last chemistry question goes to Farmington. In a polar covalent bond, there is a partial separation of charges across the bond. The quantitative measure of the magnitude of this effect is known as what?
Dipole moment.
4 points. Perfect round. Congratulations, all three teams. Next category is art history. Art history. Fayetteville, your question. The extreme contrast of dark and light values in a painting is called what?
Levels.
Incorrect.
Sfumato.
Say your answer.
Balance.
That's not what you said. What were you? What
I
did you-
said sfumato.
Oh, okay, that's incorrect. And Farmington.
Chiaroscuro.
Chiaroscuro is correct. 1 point to Farmington. Elkins. Your art history question. The light, smoky haze used by Leonardo in his paintings is called what?
A shroud.
Incorrect.
A mist.
Incorrect.
Fog.
Incorrect.
Shading.
Incorrect. And Fayetteville.
Sfumato.
That would be correct. Fayetteville scores 1 point for or sfumato. And Farmington, your art history question. When a picture has thick brush strokes creating a textured surface quality, it is called what?
Painterly?
That would be correct. 4 points. 4 points for Painterly. Our next category is sports. Fayetteville, your sports question. Arkansas head football coach Brett Bielema completed his coaching staff when he replaced the loss of receivers coach George McDonald, who was hired by Syracuse as their offensive coordinator. He replaced him with this record-breaking receivers coach from Kansas State. Name him.
Smith, Johnson, Miller.
Smith.
Correct. 4 points for Michael Smith. Well, we're not going to do that again. We're going to eliminate all the Johnsons, the Millers, and the Smiths from the answers.
That's good.
The next question goes to Elkins. I don't know if the radio audience can hear the rain now here at Farmington. Elkins, your sports question is, Owensboro, Kentucky Catholic High School senior Rebecca Greenwell made 17 of 28 shots, all three-pointers, in her school's 99-35 win over Whitesville Trinity. The record for three-pointers by a female in Arkansas is 15, by Ashley Nance in 1999 and Shanna Cunningham in 2009, and both played for the same school. Name this high school.
Fayetteville.
Incorrect.
Shiloh Christian.
Incorrect.
Farmington.
Incorrect.
Little Rock.
Incorrect. And Fayetteville.
Little Rock Hall.
Incorrect. And Farmington.
Conway?
Incorrect. The correct answer is Guy Perkins. Guy Perkins High School. 0 points for that question. Last sports question goes to Farmington. Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers didn't impress anyone in high school. His freshman year, he was 5'3" and weighed 115 pounds. His coach said he had size 11 feet and size 12 ears. He attended Valley High School in what town in California? Chico? 4 points. Farmington scores 4 points for Chico High School. Next category is mathematics. Each team has its own question and 1 minute to answer. Teams have a copy of every question for possible bonus points. The first question is for Fayetteville. Everyone may now open the blue mathematics envelope. What is the area of an equilateral triangle with sides of length 10 inches? I need your answer to the first decimal number.
We have 60 seconds, so short that. No. Alex has an answer to this.
30 seconds.
I can't read my difference. Yeah, my calculator's not working anymore. Is that this is not I'm sure this is it's 10 square root 630. Hey,
10 seconds.
43.3,
Incorrect.
21.7,
Incorrect.
55.9,
Incorrect. Farmington.
43.3 square inches.
Correct. Farmington scores 1 point for 43.3 square inches. The next mathematics question goes to Elkins. Everyone may now open the yellow mathematics envelope. Here is Elkins' math question. A pyramid measures 324 feet on each side of its square base and is 221 feet high. What is its volume? Seconds.
$7,733,232 cubic feet.
Correct. 4 points. And as in mathematics category, we have a problem with a couple calculators all not working. They don't like to get cold, evidently. So, do we have a calculator not being used at either of the other two tables? Okay, we can operate with 4 calculators at each table. 4, and just 4 at the Fayetteville table. So we'll have only 3 calculators.
This calculator.
Okay, we'll have 4 calculators at every table. Make sure it's fair for all teams.
Still not working.
Okay. As we check out these are liquid crystal screens, and I guess in the equipment trailer, it's been 17 degrees and they haven't liked it. Okay. The last question in mathematics goes to Farmington. It's in the red envelope. Everyone may now open the red mathematics envelope. Farmington, your question is, find the cubic inch volume of a right cylinder with height 5 inches and diameter 14 inches? I need your answer to the first decimal number. Thirty seconds.
Yeah, you just
Okay. 4,102.9 inches cubed.
Incorrect. And Fayetteville.
769.7 inches cubed.
Incorrect. And Elkins.
769.3 inches cubed.
Correct. Elkins scores 1 point for 769.3 cubic inches. Next category is biology. The first biology question goes to Fayetteville. Here's your question. The human insulin hormone the human insulin hormone product, Humulin, is used for treatment of diabetes, became the first recombinant DNA drug approved by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is synthesized and secreted by what?
The pituitary gland.
Incorrect. Five seconds.
Thyroid gland.
Give me your answer again.
The thyroid.
Incorrect. And Farmington.
The pancreas.
Incorrect. And Elkins.
The gallbladder.
You're all on the wrong track. It's synthesized and secreted by bacteria, specifically E. coli. 0 points for that question. All interesting answers. Elkins, here is your biology question. This vascular tissue consists of living cells and distributes sugars throughout a plant. Name it. Five seconds.
Stroma.
Incorrect.
Veins.
Incorrect. And Farmington.
Phloem.
That is correct. Phloem. P-H-L-O-E-M. Farmington scores 1 point. The last biology question goes to Farmington. Here's your question. A typical fungus consists of thread-like filaments called what?
Hypha.
Correct. 4 points. For hypha. Next category is physics. Fayetteville, your physics question. A car is traveling in a circle at constant speed without skidding. What is the most direct cause of the car's centripetal acceleration?
Friction.
4 points to Fayetteville for friction. Elkins, your physics question. A smooth, non-turbulent flow of liquid is called what?
Viscous?
Incorrect?
Non-viscous?
Incorrect.
Slimy?
Incorrect. And Farmington.
Ideal fluid.
Say again?
Ideal fluid.
Incorrect. And Fayetteville.
Fluid.
Incorrect. I needed her to repeat it so I could write it down. Didn't mean it was close. Laminar flow. It's known as laminar flow. 0 points for that question. Last question goes to Farmington. In physics, the amount of energy that must be added to raise the temperature of 1 unit mass by 1 temperature unit is called what?
Specific heat capacity.
4 points for specific heat capacity. Category next is world history. Fayetteville, your world history question. In this 2002 treaty, 150 nations pledged to reduce carbon dioxide emissions. Host nation Japan and the European Union signed this treaty, while the United States did not. Name this treaty.
The Clean Air Treaty.
Incorrect.
Treaty of Kyoto.
Incorrect.
Kyoto Treaty.
Incorrect. And Farmington.
Kyoto Protocol.
Correct. You had the city. Fayetteville, you had the city, but it was Kyoto Protocol. Farmington scores 1 point. Elkins. Here is your world history question. This type of economic policy does not limit the ability of future generations to meet their basic needs. The UN promotes this type of development as it urges nations to work to conserve all natural resources. Name this economic policy.
Sustainability.
I'll give you that. 4 points. It's sustainable development. 4 points to Elkins. Farmington, your world history question. In this economic system, the central government plays an active role in the economy. Since World War II, Japan has utilized this system, which is often cited as a key reason for the efficiency of Japanese industry. Name this economic system.
State capitalism.
4 points to Farmington for state capitalism. Next category is our second half team choice. Again, each team has chosen a different subject. The time limit is 15 seconds, excepting mathematics, which is 60 seconds. Questions are initially worth 4 points, only 1 answer per team. If I rule the original team's answer incorrect, The question is then worth 2 points to the other two teams, and they can then signal at any time. Now, Fayetteville, you chose the category of mathematics, correct? Here is, everyone may now open the white mathematics envelope. Here is your question, Fayetteville. Find the length of a diagonal of a regular hexagon with sides of length 7. Correct. Fayetteville scores 4 points. The next question goes to Elkins, and you chose the category of biology. Here's your question. A vertebrate with wet skin, gills for part of its life, and lungs for the rest would belong to this major group. Name it.
Amphibioma.
4 points to Elkins. And Farmington, you chose a category of world history. Here is your question. After the death of Jawaharlal Nehru, India's Congress Party selected his daughter as Prime Minister. What was her name?
Indira Gandhi.
4 points. Perfect round. Give them all a big hand. Now, before the final question in today's match is read, let us review the scores again. We have Elkins with 21, Fayetteville with 42, and Farmington with 64 points. And now the last question in this contest is the final team choice toss-up. The first team to push its buzzer answers first. 4 points for a correct answer. Teams, you can press your buzzers at any time. Remember, you do not have to let me finish the question. I need everybody's eyes. Here is a toss-up question. It is in the category of chemistry. Here is the question. Atoms tend to gain, lose, or share electrons until they are surrounded by 8 valence electrons. By what name is this rule?
Octet rule.
Farmington scores 4 points for the octet rule.
I knew that at the beginning.
The results of today's ACE competition are now Elkins 21, Fayetteville 42, and Farmington with 68 points. Congratulations to all 3 teams for an exciting competition. Remember, audience, the final standings are based on the cumulative score of all 3 contests that these teams participate in. During the next 5 minutes, only the teams and their coaches are permitted in the contest area. On behalf of the University of Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas Community College, the participating high schools, Kerm Radio, and the Arvest Bank Group, it has been our pleasure to be here at Farmington High School. We hope you enjoyed today's ACE competition. The next match is at Lincoln High School on Thursday, January 31st with Lifeway Christian and Greenland High Schools. I want to thank Farmington High School for their courtesy and enthusiasm. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you, Kern.